Today we're going to be learning about what life was like after World War II. These three pictures represent the three different areas that we're going to be looking at. The first that we're going to look at is some of the changes that happened within the families as soldiers came back from the war. Then we're going to be talking about the development of suburbs outside of the large cities. And last, we're going to talk about the type of goods that were being produced after the war. Let's start by looking at what happened when soldiers came and returned from the war. Now, if we remember, during the war, women were able to leave the homes and they were able to get jobs out in factories and as secretaries. But once soldiers returned to their jobs back home in the United States, women had to return home. The men were taking back the jobs that women had held during World War II. So, women returned home and became homemakers and consumers. Soldiers came back home, married, started families, and bought new homes. Now, women are going to be returning home as homemakers and consumers, buying up goods. However, women are going to start to want to be able to go out and to work and to have the freedom and the ability to do that. So, we are going to start to see some changes now in the lives of women after World War II. During World War II and even before then, if you worked in the city, you had to live in the city because you didn't have any transportation to get you to your job. So if you worked in a factory in a city, you had to live nearby so that you could walk to your job every day. But now after World War II, people have money and they are buying cars, automobiles. So they have the ability now to drive to their jobs. So instead of having to live in these large cities with lots of pollution and lots of people, they are able to live outside of the cities. So now we're going to start to see the development of suburbs. These pictures represent the suburbs where you have a lot of the houses all next to each other. That's very different than the cities with all the tall buildings and people living so close together in apartment buildings. Now, people are able to live in suburbs and they're able to drive to work or take trolleys or public transportation. A lot of Americans bought new homes out in the suburbs and they would drive into work every single day. During the war, the goods that were being produced had to go overseas to the soldiers, so they had to produce wartime goods. Now that World War II is over, production went back to consumer goods. These are goods that people want to buy, like cars or washing machines or vacuum cleaners, things that people can use in their homes or that they enjoy. The most popular consumer good is the automobile. It was in very high demand. That is what people wanted to spend their money on. A lot of people had money to spend because of their work during World War II, and now they have the ability to buy new products. Today in your work, you're going to use your notes to answer some of the questions about life after World War II. You're going to start by completing a cause and effect relationships. Complete each statement with the effect of the cause provided. Here's an example. Because it was raining, that would be a cause. The effect is that I used an umbrella to walk out to the car. These are three cause statements that you need to come up with the effect. Because soldiers came home and returned to their jobs, what happened? Because the automobile was so popular, what happened? Because wartime workers had money to spend, what happened? There's not one right answer. There's multiple things that you could write about, but it should be based on the notes from the slide. It shouldn't be something that you make up. Look back at the notes from the slides to help you come up with those effects. And then to finish, you have 4 more questions that you will be writing about. Please let us know if you have any questions.